In this particular podcast, we're going to be focusing on the barriers to critical thinking and how they keep us from adhering to intellectual standards. And we divide these barriers in our theory into two primary categories: egocentric and sociocentric thinking. Now, these categories represent many complexities and contain many interconnected concepts and principles. But we can make certain basic moves to grasp what these concepts, how they really are helpful in living a human life. So we can, first of all, realize that everyone is egocentric. And what we mean by that is we are sometimes selfish. Some people are very selfish. Some people not so selfish. But all of us have this dimension to us in which we think that what we want is more important than what other people want or need. And it's a force within us. Again, some of us have a more powerful such force. Another piece of this, the problem of egocentric thinking, is the fact that all of us are sometimes or often closed-minded. We are thinking within a logic that we are protecting, and we are not willing to consider other ways of looking at this. So we can easily capture these ideas in thinking of the most selfish person that you know, of course, which is not yourself, and thinking of the fact that there is something called the hard-headed person. In other words, so we say, you could talk to this person until you're red in the face and they'll never budge. Okay, so we understand that, and there are lots of different ways of saying that. So all of us are sometimes saying, you know what, I've got it covered, when we don't have it covered. We think we've got it figured out when we don't have it figured out. That's a natural state of the human mind. Everything I've got going on right now is perfectly fine. Otherwise, I would have changed it, and I have changed some of these things. But basically, right now, I am the way, the truth, and the light. That is the egocentric way of thinking. And we can talk about why we are this way and all the problems that come from that, but we're just giving people a sense of the concept as we begin to move into the standards. So that's a little on egocentric thinking. Did you want to comment on that before I just mentioned?
No. I thought you would present you'd say something about sociocentric.
Yeah, just a little bit on sociocentric thinking so that we have some common ground here. So with sociocentric thinking, we can just think of parallels from egocentric thinking that are quite simple. So egocentric thinking, if egocentric is selfish, then sociocentric thinking, group-oriented thinking, which is somehow problematic, is, if egocentric thinking is selfish, then the parallel on the social side is what I call groupish, or group selfishness. The term group selfishness seems a little odd. So groupish is a use that I'm bringing in here. Now, by the way, some people may already be using the term, or have heard of the term groupish, which has another use in sociology as well. So this is a different use. So selfish, groupish. And a parallel for closed-mindedness or narrow-mindedness on the egocentric side would be, in essence, narrow-mindedness on the social side, so that we're asking, what do we want? And how can we get what we want? And how do we control the people that we need to control to get what we want within our group? So you could say, I won't say more complicated, but we bring in some more factors to understand it. Right. So the social side is we are social creatures. There's nothing wrong with that. That's well and good in itself. It is at what it is in any case. We're social animals, but that social dimension frequently turns into or has a pathological dimension. And when it does, it's sociocentric.
Right.
Somehow you're locked within your group logic. You are trying to be validated. And this is a big problem in human life. So moving forward, let me just to wrap this up. So one of the problems that we face is that it seems that the human mind is just craves validation.
Yeah.
Just craves.
Mhm.
And we'll do almost anything or anything to get it. And so this means that I would say to the extent that you crave validation, you cannot achieve your capacities because you cannot stand alone. You cannot embody intellectual virtues